Imagine waking up one morning and noticing that something you once did so easily, like getting up from a chair, now feels a little harder than before. Your body doesn't respond the same way it used to, and even small movements seem to take more effort. It doesn't happen all at once. Instead, it slowly builds over time, days turning into weeks, and weeks into years. You begin to feel that your strength isn't quite what it used to be, and that can be unsettling. This isn't just about appearance or aging on the outside. It's about something much deeper: the ability to move freely, to take care of yourself, and to stay independent. And when that starts to change, it can feel quietly overwhelming. The fear of becoming completely dependent on others, of becoming a burden to your children or loved ones, of being forced out of your own home and into a care facility, is a dark cloud that hangs over the daily lives of millions of aging adults who quietly suffer through this decline. You might find yourself modifying your daily routine, avoiding stairs, declining invitations to social events, or dreading the simple act of carrying groceries from the car to the kitchen, all because your body feels like it is betraying you. But what if this profound weakness, this exhausting frailty that society dismisses as the normal, inevitable consequence of getting older, is actually a highly specific, scientifically measurable, and entirely treatable biological condition? What if the aches, the fatigue, and the frightening loss of strength are not personal failures, nor are they an inescapable destiny, but rather the symptoms of a silent, cellular crisis that can be halted and even reversed without forcing you into grueling, joint-destroying exercise routines? For decades, the medical establishment has offered little more than a sympathetic shrug, telling seniors to simply accept their diminishing capabilities or, worse, advising them to engage in vigorous weightlifting that their aching joint and depleted energy levels simply cannot tolerate. However, groundbreaking clinical research has recently unveiled the true culprit behind this devastating loss of vitality, a medical phenomenon known as sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the progressive, insidious loss of skeletal muscle mass and strength that accelerates dramatically after the age of 60, silently robbing you of the very metabolic engine that powers your mobility, your balance, and your overall metabolic health. As we age, our bodies undergo a frightening metabolic shift, entering a state of what scientists call anabolic resistance. In your vibrant youth, every morsel of protein you consumed was efficiently utilized to build, repair, and protect muscle tissue, allowing you to bounce back from exertion and maintain a strong, capable physique with relative ease. But as the decades pass, your muscle cells become stubbornly resistant to these dietary signals, requiring significantly higher concentrations of specific nutrients just to maintain the status quo. When this anabolic resistance sets in, your body, desperate for the essential amino acids required to sustain vital organ functions, turns against itself. It begins a horrific process of self-destruct, where your own precious muscle tissue is literally cannibalized to fuel the rest of your body. Your legs, your arms, your core, the very pillars of your independence, are slowly consumed from the inside out, leaving you progressively weaker, more fragile, and increasingly vulnerable to devastating falls and injuries. But here is where this story takes a miraculous turn, transitioning from a tale of inevitable decline to a narrative of extraordinary hope and actionable empowerment. Hidden within the complex biochemistry of human metabolism, researchers have identified a specific, naturally occurring metabolite that acts as a master switch to halt this catastrophic muscle breakdown and trigger a profound rebuilding process, even in the complete absence of physical exercise. This extraordinary compound is known as HMBB, or beta-hydroxybutyrate. HMBB is not a synthetic drug or a dangerous pharmaceutical. It is a natural byproduct of the metabolism of leucine, an essential branch-chain amino acid that serves as the ultimate catalyst for muscle protein synthesis. When you consume leucine-rich foods, a small fraction of it is converted into HMBB in your liver. But as you age, your natural production of this vital protector plummets, leaving your muscles completely defenseless against the ravages of sarcopenia. The discovery of HMBB's unique physiological properties is nothing short of revolutionary, particularly for seniors who face severe limitations like joint pain, chronic fatigue, or a frustrating loss of appetite. To understand how this works, we must dive into the microscopic world of your muscle cells and examine a critical biological pathway known as mTOR. The mTOR pathway is essentially the command center for muscle growth and repair. When it is activated, it signals your body to synthesize new muscle proteins and recruit dormant satellite cells, which are essentially muscular stem cells waiting for the signal to fuse with existing muscle fibers and rebuild damaged tissue. In older adults suffering from anabolic resistance, the mTOR pathway is suppressed, stubbornly refusing to turn on even when normal amounts of protein are consumed. But HMBB bypasses this resistance entirely. It possesses the unique, scientifically proven ability to aggressively stimulate the mTOR pathway while simultaneously blocking the enzymes responsible for protein degradation. In other words, HMBB acts as both a powerful shield that protects your existing muscle from being cannibalized and a potent spark that ignites the creation of new muscle tissue. The clinical evidence supporting this mechanism is not merely theoretical. It is drawn from rigorous, peer-reviewed studies conducted on some of the most vulnerable populations imaginable. Imagine the most extreme cases of muscle wasting. Elderly patients confined to beds in nursing homes. Individuals who are completely immobilized, frail, and rapidly losing whatever meager strength they have left. In these heartbreaking scenarios, where exercise is absolutely impossible and hope seems entirely lost, clinical investigators administered targeted doses of HMBB. The results were nothing short of miraculous. Without lifting a single weight, without taking a single step, these bedridden seniors experienced a dramatic halt in muscle degradation. Their bodies stopped cannibalizing their own tissue, and remarkably, they began to preserve and even rebuild lean muscle mass. If this natural compound can exert such a profound, protective effect on individuals who are completely immobilized, imagine the extraordinary impact it can have on your life. Simply by walking around your house, tending to your garden, or playing with your grandchildren. You have the power to harness this exact same biological mechanism, to suppress the frightening deterioration of your body and actively rebuild your strength, entirely through the strategic application of specific, everyday foods. You do not need expensive supplements or complicated medical interventions to begin saturating your cells with the building blocks of HMBB and leucine. You simply need to implement a targeted nutritional strategy that leverages the synergistic power of nature. Let us demystify this process and break down the 7 specific, accessible, and delicious foods that you can easily incorporate into your daily routine to naturally boost your leucine intake, maximize your HMBB production, and finally break free from the chains of anabolic resistance. The first and perhaps most potent food in this muscle rebuilding arsenal is grass-fed beef. For decades, seniors have been incorrectly warned to avoid red meat due to misguided fears about cholesterol and heart disease. But the truth is that high-quality, grass-fed beef is an absolute powerhouse of highly bioavailable leucine. When you consume grass-fed beef, you are delivering a concentrated, easily digestible payload of the exact amino acids your body desperately needs to trigger the mTOR pathway. The protein matrix in beef is practically identical to the needs of human skeletal muscle, ensuring that the leucine is rapidly absorbed into your bloodstream and delivered directly to your starving muscle cells, providing the raw materials necessary to amplify your natural HMBB production and stop the cannibalization process dead in its tracks. Furthermore, grass-fed beef is rich in essential nutrients like zinc and iron, which are crucial for maintaining the energy levels necessary to enjoy your reclaimed independence. But grass-fed beef is just the beginning. The second critical food to incorporate is wild-caught salmon, a nutritional marvel that works synergistically with leucine to optimize your muscle rebuilding potential. While salmon is an excellent source of high-quality protein, its true magic lies in its massive concentration of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. As we age, our bodies accumulate chronic, low-grade inflammation, a condition often referred to as inflammaging. This systemic inflammation is a primary driver of anabolic resistance, essentially acting as a biological static that blocks the signals telling your muscles to grow. The EPA and DHA found in wild-caught salmon act as powerful, natural anti-inflammatories, sweeping through your bloodstream and extinguishing this inflammatory static. By reducing systemic inflammation, the EPA and DHA in salmon effectively clear the pathway, resensitizing your muscle cells to the anabolic signals of leucine and HMBB, ensuring that every ounce of protein you consume is utilized with maximum efficiency. Next on our list is a humble, deeply traditional food that offers a unique, slow-release mechanism to protect your muscles during their day. You are eating meals and providing your body with nutrients. But when you go to sleep, you enter a prolonged state of fasting. For a senior suffering from sarcopenia, this 8-hour window is a danger zone where the body, starved of incoming amino acids, often resorts to cannibalizing muscle tissue to sustain vital functions. Casein protein is a remarkable substance that coagulates in your stomach, forming a slow-digesting gel that releases a steady, continuous trickle of amino acids, including leucine, into your bloodstream over the course of 7 to 8 hours. By consuming a small bowl of cottage cheese before bed, you are essentially deploying a slow-release shield that continuously feeds your muscles throughout the night, completely suppressing the biological urge to self-destruct and ensuring you wake up stronger rather than weaker. The fourth food is perhaps the most universally accessible and historically celebrated source of complete nutrition on the planet, the whole egg. Despite years of completely unwarranted demonization by outdated dietary guidelines, eggs possess the highest biological value of any protein source available, meaning your body can utilize nearly 100% of the amino acids they contain. For an aging adult dealing with a loss of appetite or digestive difficulties, eggs are a godsend. They are soft, easy to chew, incredibly simple to digest, and packed with a perfectly balanced ratio of leucine to stimulate and tear, alongside vital nutrients like choline found in the yolk, which supports neurological health and the critical mind-muscle connection. Throwing away the yolk is a tragedy of modern nutrition. The yolk contains the healthy fats and cholesterol necessary to support the production of vital hormones that further aid in maintaining your physical vitality. Moving forward, we find a surprisingly delicious and highly concentrated source of muscle-building power in our fifth food, authentic Parmesan cheese. You might think of Parmesan merely as a flavorful garnish to sprinkle over pasta, but in reality, it is a densely packed, fermented dairy product that undergoes a long aging process. During this aging process, the proteins in the milk are broken down into easily absorbed peptides and free amino acids, resulting in a staggering concentration of leucine. Because it is so intensely flavorful and nutritionally dense, you do not need to consume massive quantities to reap the benefits. For a senior who simply cannot stomach large, heavy meals, grating a generous portion of real Parmesan cheese over a salad, soup, or vegetable dish provides a massive, actionable spike of mTOR-triggering leucine without requiring a robust appetite, making it a perfectly strategic addition to your daily routine. The sixth food is a staple of clean eating that provides a versatile, lean, and highly effective vehicle for leucine delivery, chicken breast. While it may seem ordinary, the sheer volume of high-quality, easily assimilable protein found in a simple chicken breast makes it an indispensable tool for fighting sarcopenia. It is a blank culinary canvas that can be prepared in countless ways to suit any palate, ensuring that you can consistently meet the high protein thresholds required to overcome anabolic resistance. When your body breaks down the dense protein fibers of the chicken, it is flooded with the essential amino acids needed to sustain the activity of those crucial satellite cells, allowing them to fuse with and repair the microtears in your muscle fibers, fortifying the structural integrity of your legs, back, and core. Finally, we arrive at our seventh food, a powerful plant-based addition that proves you do not need to rely exclusively on animal products to defend your independence: pumpkin seeds. These tiny, crunchy seeds are an extraordinary source of plant-based protein, but more importantly, they are incredibly rich in zinc and magnesium. Zinc plays an absolutely vital role in the regulation of hormones that support muscle maintenance, while magnesium is essential for proper muscle contraction and the synthesis of cellular energy. Furthermore, pumpkin seeds provide a highly convenient, portable snack that allows you to continuously trickle muscle-supporting nutrients into your system throughout the day, maintaining a steady, anabolic environment that constantly fights back against the forces of decay. By strategically weaving these 7 foods, grass-fed beef, wild-caught salmon, cottage cheese, whole eggs, Parmesan cheese, chicken breast, and pumpkin seeds, into your daily dietary habits, you are not merely eating. You are executing a sophisticated, scientifically validated protocol to flood your body with leucine, maximize your endogenous production of HMBB, extinguish the inflammation of anabolic resistance, and forcefully command your mTOR pathway to rebuild your failing muscles. You are shifting the narrative of your life from one of fear and passive acceptance to one of proactive, aggressive preservation. You no longer have to look at a flight of stairs with dread, nor do you have to silently accept the frightening reality of becoming dependent on others just to navigate your own home. The biological mechanisms of sarcopenia have been demystified, the clinical evidence has been laid bare, and the profound, life-altering power of targeted nutrition has been placed directly into your hands. You now possess the exact knowledge required to protect your independence, to rebuild the strength that you thought was lost forever, and to live out your years with the vibrant, capable autonomy that you so deeply deserve. The tragedy of aging is not that our bodies change, but that so many of us surrender to the decline without realizing that the tools for our salvation are waiting for us right in our own kitchens. Every meal is an opportunity, every bite is a biological command, and every day is a chance to reverse the clock on your muscular health. The compound works, the foods work, the research is clear. All that is left now is the decision to